Good evening and welcome to the 8th annual Evening of 100 Fingers, a celebration of pianos for people. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Ruth Ezell from the 9 network of PBS here in St. Louis.
And I'm Art Holliday from KSDK, the NBC affiliate in St. Louis. We are coming to you live from Open Studio in the Grand Center Arts District. We have an entertaining and inspiring musical program for you this evening, all in support of Pianos for People, a great nonprofit organization changing lives by providing free access to the transformational power of the piano.
In a year when health concerns and divisiveness have caused so much stress, tonight we're celebrating the healing power of music for each and every one of us, and especially the ways that Pianos for People brings healing to those who might otherwise not have had that opportunity. And while we can't all be together in person, and we're practicing our own social distancing here, we can still share this evening and hope that you'll find some comfort and healing of your own through these personal stories and amazing performances.
The term healing sessions actually comes from the late founder of Pianos for People, Tom Townsend. I got to know Tom on several occasions doing multiple television stories. The first story was about Pianos for People and how it got started. The last story about Tom's recovery from a carjacking where he was shot in the face by a young man that Tom forgave. In between, there was a story I did where he talked about one of the performers you'll hear from tonight, Royce Martin. I also did a story about Tom's healing sessions. While he was recovering from the carjacking and multiple surgeries to rebuild his face, he was supposed to stay home, slow down, and heal. Tom didn't know how to slow down, so he invited musical friends to his home to play music and talk, the healing sessions. Tom took tragedy, the death of his son, and turned it into something beautiful, Pianos for People.
My first introduction to Pianos for People came by way of my 9 network colleagues who produced a moving profile of the organization. Then in 2016, I met that year's winner of the Teen Talent Competition, Royce Martin. I met him for the very first time then and learned of his life-changing connection to Pianos for People. We'll get the pleasure of hearing from him a little later. So tonight, we're going to meet some of the people responsible for carrying out that mission. And best of all, we are going to meet some of the students who have benefited from the transformational work that Pianos for People does here in the St. Louis area.
Our first guest performance this evening came about as the result of a surprising event back in 2016. One day, a crated Yamaha baby grand piano arrived unexpectedly at Pianos for People. The piano you can still see in the front window on Cherokee Street. It was an unsolicited gift from Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Graham Nash. Here's Nash sharing his reason behind the donation.
Hello everybody, I'm Graham Nash. I'm thrilled to know that the piano that I donated for the people in 2016 is still in use in the free piano school. The opportunity to learn music changed my life, but there are lots of other people that don't have that opportunity and who will benefit from your generous support. These are difficult, stressful times, as you know, but music has the power to heal, to give comfort, and Pianos for People reaches those most in need. So please be generous, and I thank you very much. And for all of you, here's Teach Your Children. Must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's hell did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams The one they pick is the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. And know they love you. And you, of tender years, you can't know the fears that your elders grew by. And so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, 'cause their children's hell will slowly go by. And feed them on your dreams. The one they pick is the one you'll know by. Come on now. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. And know they love you. Give generously. Free pianos, free music for people that don't have access. Give generously.
Thank you indeed, Mr. Nash. What an amazing way to start off tonight's program. Joining me now for what's always one of the most anticipated parts of the 100 Fingers event is the piano school director for Pianos for People, Kaya Baker, to introduce our student performers. Welcome, Kaya.
Thank you, Art. It's wonderful to be here to celebrate the healing power of music and to showcase our piano school students this year. With the pandemic and distancing restrictions, we've had to have all the lessons, classes, and camps online since March. But our teachers and students adapted marvelously and continue to work and grow. We couldn't be more proud of what they've achieved this year despite the challenges. So I'm honored to introduce our student performances this evening. From our Ferguson School, we have Alyssa Binion, Zachariah Bailey, and from our Cherokee Street School, we have performing on that piano donated to us by Graham Nash. We'll have Joachim Foxwell and our twins, Naomi and Simone Walker.
Hi, I'm Alyssa, and I've been a student for Pianos for People for more than a year. And I really just enjoy piano because it relaxes me, and I think it keeps me focused, and I really like my teacher.
Do you want to start at the top? Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Just start off from the top of the song. That's fine.
My name is Zach. I've been taking lessons at Pianos for People for about 2.5 years now. The song I'm playing today is one that I actually wrote myself, and I've been writing it for a little bit over 7 months now. My name is Joachim. I've been with Pianos for People for 4 years, and today I'll be playing Giorno's theme. I chose Giorno's theme because I've been watching anime since I was a child, so I felt it would be good to learn the song from an anime, so that's why I chose Giorno's theme.
My name is Naomi, and this is my sister Simone, and we're going to be playing Switcheroo Boogie. I like this song because I get to do the switch part, and I can just slide off the bench and I don't have to go around the bench. I like it because it's groovy.
What wonderful performances. Joining me now is the Executive Director of Pianos for People, Matt Brinkman.
Thank you very much, Ruth. First, I want to give a shout out to our videographer, Matthew Boyd Williams, who shot those performances, as well as some of the other segments that you're going to see tonight, and did a great job. The students have obviously made the most of a challenging year, and I am extremely grateful for the work and all the work that Kea and all of her teachers have done this year in adjusting their approach and continuing to transform the lives of their students. Teaching piano online is definitely not anyone's first choice, and we're certainly looking forward to having in-person lessons and classes again. But this year, more than ever, we've heard from our parents about how much it means to their kids that we've been able to continue this work at a time when music has really helped them to deal with the stresses and uncertainties of this year. So we are very grateful to all of our supporters out there who have made it possible for us to continue doing that. If you would like to make a donation this evening, it is very easy, especially if you're watching this from our website at pianosforpeople.org. You'll see the donate button right there on your screen. If you're watching on YouTube, that is the webpage to go to access that donation button and form. And of course, you can always mail us a check at 3138 Cherokee, St. Louis, Missouri, 63118. I also want to take a moment to be sure to thank our generous sponsors who have made this evening possible. First, our presenting sponsor, A.B. Maury. Our gold sponsors, James and Judith Hirsch. Our silver sponsors, Michael and Corinne Manchese, Strategies for Growth, and the Alex Townsend Memorial Foundation. Our bronze sponsors, Stiefel Russell Wealth Management Group, BSI, Librix, 1904 Labs, Open Studio, Brown Smith Wallace, the Lawrence Group, and Ann and Sheldon Harbor, as well as all of our wonderful friends level sponsors listed here. We want to thank all these folks for their very generous support of Pianos for People, and especially for supporting this event and helping to make this evening possible. And here is a message from our presenting sponsor, A.B. Maury.
We rise and shine every day. We work baker's hours. We know baking technology. From iconic Fleischmann's yeast to the ingredients of tomorrow, we are passionate about baking. We are A.B. Maury.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, I had the opportunity to do a feature story about our next performer, Royce Martin. Royce is now a student at the prestigious Berklee College of Music in Boston, but he honed his amazing talent thanks to a free piano and lessons from Pianos for People.
And as you'll hear in this segment, Royce is not only a wonderful piano player, but he has a deep insight about the profound meaning and healing powers of music in his life. He also has a deep appreciation for our musical heritage, which is why it was so appropriate to record this segment at the historic Scott Joplin House in St. Louis, in the very same room where the King of Ragtime composed many of his most famous works. Let's hear from Royce.
The piano offers me a perspective that I'm not able to get from the world, I think. Whenever I play the piano, I'm able to imagine things that didn't necessarily exist, and I think that's the coolest thing in life. I'm Royce Martin. I'm studying at the Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm currently studying film score. I'm hoping to do that when I get out of college over in LA. Since I started playing the piano, all in all, I just wanted to be a good piano player and go anywhere and play the piano. So when I found out about Pianos for People, it was really shocking, first of all, that I could get a free piano as well as free lessons. And putting that all together, it meant the world to me in my musicianship and development over the years. Impressionable people. That's how I would describe myself back in high school. Really impressionable, and that's when Pianos for People found me. at like my malleable years. I think I had a lot of energy then that sort of could have manifested into anything, good or bad. And I think when we find proper ways in a community, like places like Pianos for People, to channel that energy of impressionable youth, I think that's the most profound thing you can do. Because I think a lot of times people are just crying out for help in the ways that they know how. And I think with good outlets like Pianos for People, it's a proper way to channel that energy and put it into something good. And it was a home for me to go to away from home, a place for me to go to after school. Music has the ability to transcend all, good and bad, any arbitrary barrier that I think we might set up or even the world might set up. I'd say in particular this year, music has been uniquely useful in that it sort of acted as a vehicle to help with social unrest and like getting people through these tough times. And I think without music, a lot of people wouldn't know what to do, not just musicians. I think music is a much needed aid in times of uncertainty for a lot of people. That's why I think, I'm doing one of the most noble things I can imagine, playing music and playing music for people. I would not be where I am today without Pianos for People.
Just amazing every time I hear Royce. He'll be returning for another performance later in our program. Meanwhile, I'm pleased to welcome our host this evening here at Open Studio, Mr. Peter Martin, one of the co-founders of Open Studio. Peter is an acclaimed jazz pianist who has performed at hundreds of major venues and jazz festivals, including the White House twice. He is the musical director and pianist for Grammy Award-winning singer Diane Reeves, has performed with countless other jazz greats, and will be performing live for us later in the program tonight. Peter, welcome.
Thanks so much, Art, and thank you, Ruth. It's a great honor to be hosting an evening of 100 fingers. I'm only contributing 10. Excited, we've already seen some of the other 90. We're here at Open Studio, and we're in support of Pianos for People, always. Open Studio and Pianos for People are both all about helping musicians reach their full potential, so it's totally a mutually beneficial partnership. For our next performance, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the 442s, combining 3 members of the world-class St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, which is just a couple blocks down the block from where we are right now, and 2 of St. Louis area's finest jazz musicians, including my good friend and colleague here at Open Studio, Adam Manis, who composed the piece we're about to hear. Just as music breaks down the barriers that can divide us, the 442s create a unique sound by breaking down barriers between jazz, classical, hip-hop, folk, and pop music. Let's have a listen. Take one.
So inspiring, but then everything the 442s do is inspiring. We welcome back Kaya to introduce our next guest, and there's a great story here as well, so tell us about our next performer.
I can't wait. So last October, we got an email from a touring musician asking if he could come by and practice on one of our pianos on his day off. And that is how we met Guillaume Marchand, the keyboard player for none other than Celine Dion. Guillaume stayed after he practiced and checked out our students and our teachers. He wanted to see what Pianos for People was all about. And he loved what he saw so much that the next day he sent our staff VIP tickets for Celine's concert that night. I still can't believe that happened. It was amazing. So, here, coming to you from his native Quebec, is Guillaume Marchand.
Hello, my name is Guillaume Marchand. I'm the keyboard player for Celine Dion, and I'm also a French Canadian, so that's why I have a little accent, and that's why I have my notes, because English is not my first language, so sorry about that. First of all, I'm very honored and touched to be invited by Pianos for People for this beautiful event tonight. You know, since the beginning of my career, I had the privilege to travel a lot. I saw over 60 countries and hundreds of cities around the world. And one of my best memories was exactly a year ago, 25th October 2019, in this beautiful city called St. Louis. Long short story. We were on tour in the US with Celine Dion, and we had like 2 days off in St. Louis. And I was searching for a place to practice on a real piano. And I found this beautiful place called Pianos for People on the internet. So I read down an email. Hey, do you have room tomorrow for practicing? And they answered me like a few hours later, please come in our place. We had a lot of choice of piano and you will have fun. So I did. Next day I go to this place and I had the chance to meet some of the teachers there, like Michael, Elizabeth, Matt, and Kaya. And they asked me if I want to stay to meet the kids, to meet the students after this afternoon. So I did. I was curious about this place. So I did, and what I saw this evening was so much more than simply music lessons. What I saw is humans beings who love music and share their passions to the kids. I saw kids with friends singing about hope and love. And this exchange was absolutely beautiful. This love that the teachers give to the kids and this love that the kids give to the teachers, I think it's one of the best healing power of the music. I was so lucky to saw this magical place, and I think I will remember all my life of this beautiful evening. And today is so important to have places like Pianos for People. You know, first of all, for the kids, because kids are our future. And, you know, for the love of music, this exchange is completely beautiful. So, like the Celine Dion songs, I'm Alive, Pianos for People must stay alive for hundreds of years again. So be generous, and if you can give sometimes some money, you know, for this beautiful place, please be free. And again, thank you so much for this beautiful day that I spent with you. And now they asked me to play just a little song, and I choose a song that I wrote down while I was in your place. Just a little riff. It's very simply song. And this song will be at TV Teams here in Montreal next year. So again, thank you so much, Pianos for People, for all this love that you spread. So here we
Another incredible example of how far and wide the message of Pianos for People has spread. We welcome Matt back to introduce this next segment, which is sure to bring a smile to your face and maybe make you want to sit down at the piano yourself.
Absolutely. So, in addition to our free pianos, free piano school, and free summer music camps, we have a fourth component to our programming, which is free community music events. Piano slams are community jam sessions open to the public that were started years ago by our founder, Tom Townsend. Piano slams basically give anyone in attendance the opportunity to come up to the piano and experience what it's like to play along with a house band of great musicians. Not only do the participants have a lot of fun, but it also builds self-confidence and self-esteem. So here's a video montage of footage from Piano Slam events over the years, put together by Tom's son, Nate Townsend.
Those events look like a lot of fun, and what a great experience for young musicians. You see the kids, the looks on their faces, and you know they can all picture themselves on a big stage someday playing for thousands of fans.
And sometimes those big dreams do come true. Sometimes when an unwanted piano is brought back to life, it can change a life. It certainly did for our next guest, who grew up in Ferguson, near one of our 2 free piano schools, and went on to win 5 Grammy Awards.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael McDonald. I'm talking to you today about a program that I'm hoping will pick up some steam around the metropolitan St. Louis area and the surrounding counties. Pianos for People is seeking support for their cause of free music education for those who can't afford a piano or lessons. It's especially vital this year where so many people could benefit from the healing power of music in these times to deal with the stresses and challenges of life that are unique to this year. But they don't have that opportunity because they can't afford a piano or music lessons. You know, when my father, when he was a young man, wouldn't have been able to afford a piano from a music store, a retail music store. And those very same pianos are only 10 times as much these days. You know? But through a friend who informed a man whose mother had died and who was cleaning out her house, and there sat a big upright grand piano, a solid oak, hadn't been played in 20 years, just gathering dust. He convinced the man that he knew a woman whose grandson was driving her crazy from banging on her piano on Saturday afternoon. So he said, well, if it'll get some use, and you'll move it, you can have it. And they brought it home to our house, my dad and my uncle. And, I walked alongside them as they were struggling to carry that big thing into the house, banging out Battle Hymn of the Republic with 2 fingers. You know. And my dad sought from that very moment to encourage me, mostly by swatting at me and saying things like, get the hell out of the way, this thing is heavy. But we got it into the basement, and I spent many blissful hours, mostly in my underwear, playing that piano and writing some of my first songs on that piano. Not songs I would play for anyone today, but it was the beginning for me of a career that I've had all these years. And even if I hadn't, just the hours I spent learning to appreciate music all the more and to understand myself all the more through music would have been worth it. I'm hoping that we can do that for someone else who wouldn't otherwise have that opportunity. Together, I think we can. And so Pianos for People is an important cause in our city, and I hope you'll join us and support us. Thank you.
What a great story from Michael McDonald. I never realized he got his start in music in a similar way to the kids at Pianos for People. And by the way, congratulations to Michael on being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year as a member of the Doobie Brothers. Kea is back to introduce one more student performance this evening, and this one will show you that there's a place for everyone at Pianos for People.
Yes, there is. This next segment features another one of our students, 13-year-old Jalen Miller, who was practicing at our school on Cherokee Street recently when a certain hockey mascot stopped by inquiring about tonight's Evening of 100 Fingers event. Fortunately, Jalen has worked hard to learn the perfect musical piece for this occasion.
Louie, welcome to Pianos for People. Yeah, /I 5. Why so blue, Louie? Oh, I see. You don't have 10 fingers. You know, Louie, that doesn't matter at Pianos for People. And just think, the grand piano has only 88 keys, and there are only 8 keys in an octave. Yeah, we're pianos for mascots too. And I just learned a song that we can play that I'm pretty sure that you'll like. Yeah, we make a great team. Louie, high 4.
Oh, that's great. I never noticed Louie only had 8 fingers, but you gotta love the high 4. Our next guest, Phoebe Elliot, is a St. Louis native who just moved from Nashville to Los Angeles. She's quickly making her mark as an up-and-coming singer, songwriter, and musician. Gene and Tom Townsend have known Phoebe most of her life, and she's been a passionate supporter of Pianos for People. She's won 2 Independent Music Awards and was a finalist in the New Song Music Competition, which gave her the opportunity to perform at Lincoln Center in New York.
Phoebe was kind enough to take a break while moving to record and send us this heartfelt message.
Hey everyone, I'm Phoebe Elliot. Thank you so much, Pianos for People, for having me tonight. It's an honor to be here and to perform for an evening of 100 Fingers. The song I'm going to play for you tonight is called The River Song. I wrote this when I was processing a lot of grief in my life and a lot of feelings. During this period of my life, water became a big theme in my songwriting. I think it's symbolic of the healing process and the ebb and flow of feelings, whether it's joy, grief, love, heartbreak, all the feelings that we experience as humans. And sitting with those feelings and being present with them and then letting them pass. Easier said than done. But music has always helped me with that. This song really helped me heal, and that's the power of music. Whether it's to celebrate or grieve or for self-expression, music for me has always been an outlet for that. I am so grateful to have the power of music in my life. I'm so grateful to perform for all of you tonight and to celebrate Pianos for People and everything that they're doing to make music and education accessible to everyone. Thank you for supporting Pianos for People, and thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy this one.
Every bad lie, every restless night, every tear you cry makes you stronger. Every heartbreak, risk you take, rule you break makes you stronger. Keep on, keep on, keep on. When it's raining so hard, you can't see. Keep on, keep on. When the flood rolls in and the water runs deep, don't pack your bags, don't run away. Get out the buckets and catch the rain. This is no mistake. The river gives more than it takes. So when you're out of luck or out of love, let faith fill you up and make you stronger. And keep on, keep on, keep on. When it's raining so hard, you can't see. Keep on, keep on. When the flood rolls in and the water runs deep, don't pack your bags, don't run away. Get out the buckets and catch the rain. This is no mistake. The river gives more than it takes. Don't try to fight it, just let it rock you, let it move you, let it spread in your soul. Keep on, keep on, keep on. When it's raining so hard, you can't see. Keep on, keep on. When the flood rolls in and the water runs deep. Keep on, keep on. When it's raining so hard, you can't see. Keep on, keep on. When the flood rolls in and the water runs deep. Don't pack your bags, don't run away. The river gives more than it takes. The river gives more than it takes. The river gives more than it takes. The river gives more.
Thank you.
Matt joins us again because we want to remind you that if you'd like to make a donation this evening to support the great work of Pianos for People, it's very easy. If you're watching from the Pianos for People website, you'll see the Donate Now button right there at the top and bottom of the page. If you're watching on YouTube, the web address is at the bottom of your screen.
That's right, and once again, we'd like to thank our very generous sponsors who have made this whole evening possible. Our presenting sponsor, A.B. Maury. Our gold sponsors, James and Judith Hirsch. Our silver sponsors, Michael and Corinne Manchisi, Strategies for Growth, and the Alex Townsend Memorial Foundation. Our bronze sponsors, Stifel Russell Wealth Management Group, BSI, Librix, 1904 Labs, Open Studio, Brown Smith Wallace, the Lawrence Group, and Ann and Sheldon Harbor. And of course, all of our Friends Level sponsors listed here. We greatly appreciate everyone's generosity in helping to make this evening possible. And here once again is a message from our presenting sponsor, A.B. Maury.
We rise and shine every day. We work baker's hours. We know baking technology. From iconic Fleischmann's yeast to the ingredients of tomorrow. We are passionate about baking. We are A.B. Maury.
We promised you another performance by Royce Martin, and this next one really shows his amazing versatility as a musician.
That's right. We heard Royce play some ragtime earlier at the Scott Joplin House. Now he demonstrates his virtuoso talent for classical music. Thanks to the generosity and support of our great St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, we were given permission to record his second performance on stage at Powell Hall.
My name is Royce Martin, and this is Chopin's Etude, Opus 25, number 2.
Royce just gets better every time I hear him. As I mentioned at the beginning of our program, I had the opportunity to meet Tom Townsend, the late founder of Pianos for People, years ago. Last year, while he was recovering from a gunshot wound, he started a video project known as the Healing Sessions, inviting fellow musicians to his home to record songs with him and talk about the healing power of music. As he told me at the time, there were many things he couldn't do while recuperating, but he could still spread hope through music.
Matthew Boyd Williams, who produced our student performances and those videos of Royce Martin, was also the producer of those Profound Healing Sessions videos. He joins us now remotely to introduce one of Tom's sessions and to share the news of a new project he's working on to further the legacy of Tom Townsend's Healing Sessions. Let's hear from Matthew now.
Hey folks, my name is Matthew Boyd Williams, and I am so excited for tonight's 100 Fingers event. Over a year ago, I had the opportunity to work with Tom Townsend on a project that is now known as the Healing Sessions. The Healing Sessions came about after Tom was a victim of attempted carjacking. Tom believed in the healing power of music, and in his own words, he took his own medicine. He wanted to find a way to recover while stuck at home. Tonight, we're going to show you a session that features Demi Brown. Tom loved this session. Tom believed in it. He believes in everyone, but he especially loves kids and their perspective on the world, and Demi personifies that in a really beautiful way. Something else to mention is that we are currently taking the music from the Healing Sessions and making it into a physical vinyl record. What this will allow us to do is just keep Tom's vision moving forward. It will keep the Healing Sessions in people's hands and in people's hearts. Something I've kind of come to say is that the project that healed Tom now heals all of us. So please enjoy the music, enjoy the evening, and thank you, Tom, for everything that you gave us.
Ma douce souffrance, pourquoi ce chien tout commence? Je suis honnête sans importance. Seul je suis un peu paro, je déambule seul dans le métro. 1, 2, 3. On a dernière danse. Oubliez ma peine immense. Je dois m'enfuir quand tout commence. Oh ma douce souffrance. Je remets le ciel et je la nuit. Je danse avec les vents, la pluie. Un peu d'amour, la boîte de miel et je danse, 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 danse.
Currently, I'm a sophomore in high school. Starting at like 5th grade, I was going through a really rough time because, you know, I was different, and I've always been different, and I'm always going to be different. But people saw that as like, you know, like a, hey, let's poke at her about it.
Je m'envole, vol, 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 l'espérance.
I understand myself now, and the reason why I understand myself is because of music. When I do music, I let my heart speak, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I had seen that before. It's still moving. Healing Sessions indeed. It just shows you the power of an idea to bring out the better angels in all of us. And thanks again to Gene and Tom Townsend for their incredible foresight and commitment to music education.
Absolutely. And to keep Tom's dream alive and continue that commitment, I am very pleased to share that we have raised over $100,000 this evening in support of Pianos for People, which will enable us to continue our work bringing the power of music to those in our community who need it most. Thank you so much to all of you out there watching and all of you who have been so generous this evening. I also want to acknowledge some key people who have really made this program possible. First of all, I want to sincerely thank Ruth, Ezell, and Art Holliday for contributing your time and talents to our program. Also, our great host here at Open Studio for providing the perfect facility to do this. I also want to thank the team at Vidzu Media who provided our technical direction and production this evening and were very helpful in guiding us through planning a type of event that we had no previous experience doing. And of course, our very generous sponsors without whom none of this would have been possible. If you would like to see any portion of this program again, or if you know of someone who would enjoy it but wasn't able to watch tonight, I would encourage you to let them know it will be available for viewing on the Pianos for People YouTube channel. Hopefully next year we will be able to gather in person once again. As a final tribute to our founder, Tom Townsend, here's a video from our gold sponsors, James and Judith Hirsch. It's from last year's Evening of 100 Fingers event. James Hirsch reading a very special letter from a good friend of Pianos for People.
This is from Wynton Marsalis. About a year ago, I had the opportunity to meet several of the students from Pianos for People, and I was able to take them backstage at our final show to meet the musicians. It was a great evening. I got a first-hand chance to see what Pianos for People was all about. I recently learned of the tragic passing of PFP founder Tom Townsend, and I want to take this opportunity to offer my hopes and prayers for his family and for everyone in his organization. Tom Townsend's unshakable belief that music can create hope and love was the bedrock for the creation of Pianos for People. For all those whose lives he touched, and for all those who will in the future thrive through his vision, Tom's legacy will never be forgotten. Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed all of these performances as much as we have, and that they have inspired you to help Pianos for People bring hope to our community. Before we introduce our final performer, I'd like to say thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for supporting this great cause.
As promised, our final performance this evening will take place right here at Open Studio. Please welcome Peter Martin.
What's happening, everybody? Peter Martin here. It is an honor and a pleasure to be performing for 100 Fingers this evening. I feel the weight of all the pianists, the students, the educators, the teachers, the leaders that we heard from this evening. And I'm honored to be here to play a little bit of live music for you guys, just to put a little bit of button on the end of the evening. And I thank all of our sponsors so much for your generous support. And folks, it is not too late to click that link and go and whatever you've got available, whatever's in your heart, because Pianos for People is doing amazing things every day during the pandemic, before the pandemic, after the pandemic. They're going to be here, and they are changing lives through this great instrument. And I was so moved by everybody's words, Michael McDonald's words about the power of a piano in his life. And I can attest to that myself. I mean, this thing changes lives. And to see the kids there, to see Royce, who was a kid just a few years ago, he's a big guy now doing his thing in Boston. It's a joy to see it and to be part of it. So I'm going to play a couple more tunes for you guys. The first composition I played, Just a Closer Walk with Thee, of course. And then I played an original of mine called Emotion in Motion. And right now I'd like to play a composition written by Bill Evans and Miles Davis called Flamenco Sketches. And I just want to dedicate this to the entire Pianos for People family. The memory of Tom Townsend, to Gene, to the whole family. So much love and appreciation and warmth. I hope this is comforting for you. This is Flamenco Sketches. Thank you so much. That was Sing a Song of Song by Kenny Garrett. I'm going to play a little bebop, a little Donna Lee from Charlie Parker, just on the other side of the state, out of Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you guys so much for being here this evening. My name is Peter Martin, Pianos for People. Thanks to Art and Ruth and everybody. Tom Townsend, we're lifting up your name. See you guys next time. 100 Fingers.